Welcome to Write Ideas with Susan. Today I have a very easy way for you to share a Bible story with kids that's really interactive, and it's using story cards. Now I have two examples here and I'm going to show you how I use them. I've got an example of the story from Luke chapter 5 of Jesus teaching from the boat and then telling his disciples to go catch some fish. And I also have the Genesis creation story that I'm going to share with you. And what I've done is, I've made story cards for the actual story. And on the back, I've put the story. So the whole story is on the back of all the cards. And all I would do for the lesson is just show the picture and read it from the back. So I don't even have to remember it or anything. It's all there on the back. And so I would read it through one time. And then I'd say, okay, now who would like to help read the story again? And this is for kids who are readers. And then I would just hand out story cards to 6 or 7 kids, depending on how many cards I have. I'd line them up the front, and then they would reread the story from the cards for the whole class again. And that works really well. And so that's what I've got with the Luke story. And then this is the Genesis creation story, and you can do more than that. You can do the same thing, read the story from the back, let the kids come up and read it. But another thing you can do with this one, I have put magnets on the back of the cards. And so I can put them up after we've done the story a few times with kids helping and reading. I can put them up on the board and scramble them up, and then I can get the kids to come up, and maybe 2 kids at a time, and say, okay, can we put it in the right order? And then they can do sequencing activities and put them in the right order. And then I can say, now who can tell the story just by looking at the pictures? And then I would get a kid up to come and tell the story just by looking at the pictures. And so we have a chance to go and interact through this story several times over, and it works really well to get the kids involved. After we have gone through the story a few times, we can do a craft activity as a follow-up that goes along with it. So I could give them a little ball of Play-Doh and say, hey, make something from the story out of Play-Doh. Or I could just give them a plain sheet of paper and say, why don't you draw one of the pictures that were in our story today? And it's pretty good. And the kids, you just put them all up on the board and the kids can decide which part of the story they want to draw on a plain piece of paper. So there you have a 20 to 30 minute lesson already done, dusted, prepared, and then the next year when that story comes around, guess what? You've got it already prepared, and it's just so easy. Now let me just show you how I made these cards. All I did is it came with my curriculums. So in one of my curriculums, I was given a book with lots of pictures, and all I did was cut out the pictures, took a plain piece of paper, glued the pictures on, put it and laminated it, and you can laminate at home with just using your iron. I'll put a little link in the description below so you can learn how to laminate at home. And then with the other one, this actually came, the Genesis story actually came in a visual aid pack that came with my curriculum. So it was all done, and the only thing I had to do was to put the actual story on the back. So that's all I did. So very simple, very easy. If you like this idea, can you give it a thumbs up and let me know? And if you have other ideas that you can do with story cards, could you put it in the descriptions below? That would be really helpful. One more tip. If you like being able to put together Bible stories really easily and quickly, I have got a whole playlist of how to do a Bible story really easy. So check that out when you have time. And once again, thanks so much for watching, and may God bless you as you teach the next generation about Jesus. See ya.